Hey everybody, this is Avi Abelo from IsraelUnwired.com, and the headline news that the mass media in Israel, Jewish publications, and the world media are putting out there regarding the Israeli elections and the accomplishments of the Joint Arab List are making me livid. Absolutely livid. Because right now, you are having mass media, journalists, publications so excited that the Joint Arab List won 13 seats. And they might be recommending Benny Gantz to be the first one to put together a government. They might even join a government of Benny Gantz, the head of the Blue and White Party. And the headlines that are being put out there by people is, oh my God, we might see a true Israeli democracy because the Joint Arab List might join an Israeli government. This is the line that is being pushed by Israeli mass media, Jewish mass media, and generic world mass media. Now, the hypocrisy glares to high heaven. Total hypocrisy. Here you're saying that even though the Israeli political system has a joint Arab list, Arab Muslims who are part of the democratic process, they are in Israel's parliament for decades. But yet, that's not a democracy. The fact that they might join an Israeli government, that finally we're going to see an Israeli democracy. What a huge bunch of poppycock! Israel is a democracy. It has an Arab parties. Arab Muslims are part of the Israeli political system. Arab Muslims can be lawyers, can be Supreme Court judges, they can be heads of police departments and hospitals. Israel is a democracy. Only because everyone's excited that this Arab party might join the Israeli government, all of a sudden, oh, Israel is a democracy. No! Israel has always been a democracy. The Arab Muslims have more freedom and rights in Israel than they have in other Arab Muslim countries. Sunnis have equal and freedom here. Shiites, ex-Muslims, gay Muslims, female Muslims. But yet if you're in a Shiite country, the Sunnis are persecuted and don't have equality or freedom. If you're in a Sunni Muslim country, the Shiites are persecuted and don't have the same equality and freedom as the ruling Muslims. Only in Israel do all Arab Muslims have freedom and equality to go be parliamentarians in the parliament, to be Supreme Court judges, to be doctors, to head hospitals, etc., etc., etc. And yet the media is lying about an Israeli democracy. Yesterday, Israel is an apartheid state, but all of a sudden, because they have Arabs who sit in Israel's democracy, Israel's parliament, maybe they're not an apartheid state because Arab Muslims sit in Israel's government and are able to be parliamentarians, able to be ministers, able to head committees. No! All of a sudden, because they're able to be part of the government, now Israel's democracy will shine. No, it shows the total hypocrisy and ideological agenda of so many in the mass media, including Israeli journalists, including Jewish journalists, who they are celebrating the downfall of Israel. Why am I saying that? A majority of these Arabs on the Joint Arab List openly support terrorists and people who want to destroy Israel. They themselves go around the world supporting BDS, the Boycott, Divestment, Sanctions Organization, that whole strategy which is about destroying Israel. They sit and stand and talk in Israel's parliament against Israel. It is not something to celebrate that these people would be part of the Israeli government. It is a mark of shame, a mark of shame that Israelis and Jews are celebrating that Jew haters, that Israel haters who want Israel to be destroyed will be part of the Israeli government. That's a mark of shame. Anyone who understands Israeli politics knows that these Arab joint parties, part of the joint list, most of them support terror. They do nothing to help their Arab Israeli constituents. They stand up for destroying Israel. They partner with the Palestinian Authority and strategize how to destroy Israel. The Likud, the right-wing parties, they do more for the Arab Israeli public than the Arab parties. So why are you celebrating them potentially becoming part of the Israeli government? They do nothing for their constituents. They support the destruction of Israel. That is not something to celebrate. That is something for you journalist, you pundit, you person who think you know and are respected for your knowledge about the Jewish world and about Israel. The fact that you are celebrating the potential step of this joint Arab list joining the Israeli government, the fact that you are celebrating this joint Arab list recommending Benny Gantz to be prime minister and Benny Gantz speaking to them and potentially wanting them to be part of his government. That is a shame. A shame. The Jewish parties do more to help the Arab Israeli constituents in Israel than that joint Arab list who support destroying Israel and support terrorists. Just today, Palestinian Media Watch, PalWatch, is releasing a video of Ahmad Tibi, one of the leaders of the joint Arab list, who's celebrating Marwan Barghouti, who's in jail for I don't know how many life sentences for planning the murder of countless of Jews. He has countless of Jews on blood on his hands. And you're Ahmad Tibi, who was an advisor to Yasser Arafat, who was an arch-terrorist even when he was taking part in peace talks. Ahmad Tibi celebrating Marwan Barghouti? Israeli journalists, Jewish journalists want him to be in the government, a minister in the Israeli government? He who supports terrorists and the murder of innocent Israelis? People, please help me wake people up. Stop buying the lies of the mass media. Even Jewish journalists in mainstream Jewish publications. They have lost it. They have no understanding of reality. And whether they understand or not, they are openly supporting the destruction of Israel by celebrating this joint Arab list, wanting Benny Gantz to be prime minister, potentially joining a government under Benny Gantz. Now, will it happen? Will a government come to shape with Benny Gantz and the joint Arab list as part of that government? Most probably not. But anyone who has been thinking positive thoughts about Benny Gantz becoming prime minister should have huge question marks in their head. The fact that one of the first phone calls he made was to the leader of the joint Arab list to potentially recommend him and become part of the government. Because I said before, they support the destruction of Israel. Maybe not all of them, but many of them on record for supporting the destruction of Israel. And the fact that Benny Gantz, a potential prime minister of Israel, is open to inviting them to be part of his government, him and his other 3 generals, the fact that there are 4 IDF generals open to having the joint Arab list, who has members and leaders that support terrorism, that work hand in hand with the Palestinian Authority to strategize in destroying Israel, that if they are ministers and they receive intelligence information and secret information of Israel's security situation, that they will openly hand it over to the Palestinian Authority, Hamas, Hezbollah, and Israeli enemies, that these 4 Arab generals who lead the Blue and White Party, potentially to lead Israel, that they are open to having this joint Arab list as part of a government, that should be a huge red flag to anyone who's looking out for the benefit of Israel and the Jewish people, that this Benny Gantz and his Blue and White Party could potentially lead Israel in the future. So please, everybody, please help me share this true information with the world, with your friends and family. Israel is a thriving democracy. And yes, Israel even has Israel haters and people who want to destroy us in the parliament. All right, let's not get into the high court allowing this to happen, because even according to Israeli law, they should be forbidden for being in the government. But Arabs and Muslims are part of Israel's parliament, and they have more equality and freedom, all types of Arab Muslims, than in any other country, Arab Muslim country in the Middle East. Israel is a thriving democracy. Please help me get the truth out there, everyone. Thanks for watching. Signing off from the eternal and undivided capital of the Jewish people, here in Jerusalem, and we will survive this. And just one reminder, the last time the Arab parties supported an Israeli government brought about decades of terror that we are still trying to get out of. And that was in 1992. Yitzhak Rabin and the Labour government had the support of the Arab Muslim parties. His government was dependent on the support of the Arab Muslim parties, and that's what brought the disastrous Oslo Accords, giving the arch-terrorist who has strategized since he was born to destroy Israel, Yasser Arafat, giving him and his terrorist guns, allowing terrorists into Judea and Samaria, into Gaza. They planted the seeds to destroy Israel, and that was the last time we had Arab Muslim parties in Israel's parliament supporting a government. Let's not make that mistake again. Shalom, everyone. Thanks for watching. Let's make the world a better place. Spread the truth. Share, share, share.